Navigating shallow waters. Kamizumi's mighty galleon can only ply shallow coastal waters. Press the A button to embark or disembark at beaches or ports. Pretty sure there's some interesting areas you could get to, but I'm not going to worry about those. Lunite, what's your favorite Zelda game?
Quickly, plug the hole, Lydia.
Me again? Like I don't already have my hands and feet full!
Here, Idia, I'll take over. Watch out, sir! Don't stand all of a sudden like that.
Yes, stay low. And take care not to rock the boat, lest we capsize.
Here, let's just bail as fast as we can. Right.
Tidal wave of 4.
A mighty galleon my behind! Wee, Luxembourg sure is a blast. Well, I'm glad one of us is having fun. Why wouldn't I be? I've never been on a ship like this before.
Well, they don't have oceans on the moon, you see.
Exactement. An adventure on the high seas. Nothing but blue waves, stretching all the way to the horizon. What's this? One fish, two fish, meow, fish, mew, fish.
I can explain, Magnolia. You see, the girl is merely fishing. Wait, fishing?
A girl fishing alone in the middle of the ocean? That's a bit odd.
Ahoy, little girl! What are you doing out here?
Meow, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm out in my catamaran fishing. For fish, you know. My little kitties at home are counting on me for a moist and delicious feast.
Ah, a fellow cat fancier, I see. I recognize your good taste.
Aren't we getting along swimmingly? That's what I'm meowing about. Cats are just the best, don't you think? And look, what a precious little kitty you have there.
This is Tsubaki, my loyal companion. We met on the road, so I cannot be certain. But in my estimation, he's a purebred Highland foal of some 12 years of age.
Master, that's a plain old tabby if I ever saw one.
A Highland foal.
You're a cute little kitty, aren't you? Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Minette has a treat from you.
Is something the matter, Tsubaki?
What?
Look out! Oh!
Master!
I don't like the look in those eyes.
I thought he was a cute little kitty, but meow! What a sourpuss! I'll be going, meow. Exit stage left. Look out, you!
Ah!
Tsubaki! Worry not. I struck with the blunt side of my blade.
Whatever got into him?
Master, are you hurt?
How could I be so careless?
The wound is deep. He needs medical attention, and fast. Let's find somewhere to go ashore. There's a city not far from here. Alcampus, land of learning. Let's hurry there.
Nightbot's nice. Ratatosker. That deathfish does a lot of damage. See you later, vulture. See you later, deathfish. Idea levels up. Cool. Anyway. Sometimes all the things line up. It happens. Anyway, Twilight Princess is also my favorite Zelda game. Campus, Land of Learning.
The dormitory is just down the street. There should be someone there to tend to Master Kami Izumi's wounds.
You sure know your way around town, you.
I would hope so. After all, I'm an El Campus alumnus.
That would explain it. Now let's keep moving. Whoops! Excuse-moi.
Ow, ow, ow! Are you blind, woman? You have some gall to obstruct the path of Pudgius Bismal, 5-star scholar. Not a single star on you. Ha! I figured you for a simpleton the moment I laid eyes on you. Well, don't you have something to say for yourself? Fine, I shall deign to overlook your transgressions this time. Now be gone from my sight, wench.
Pretty sure Magnolia could murder you.
What a blowhard!
Yeah, not the most pleasant fellow. What was that 5-star business he was going on about?
You saw the 5 stars on his hat, didn't you? Everyone in El Campus is assigned a star ranking representing their status in school and society. With 5 stars, he's rather high in the ranks.
I guess stars and common courtesy don't always go hand in hand. Tell me about it. If all the high-ranking types are such insufferable jerks, you can keep them away from...
Well, I'm sure they're not all so bad. Now, let's get Master Kami Izumi to the dormitory.
Alright. Let's talk to this save guy here. Okay, so before we go to the dormitory, we're gonna go over here. Man, life in El Campus is the best. As long as you've got enough stars, you can get away with anything. What? You say that I bought my stars? I pray you won't judge me, sir. Some people are gifted with smarts, and others with perseverance. My God-given gift is simply to be rich. That's all. That sounds like an awesome mod, Lanai. It's great how even 1-star students like me can get 3 square meals here at the academy. We get harina stir fry for breakfast and pickled harina spreads for lunch, though I wouldn't say no to a little more variety. I'm a wandering sushi chef. Shall I teach you the trick to acquiring the freshest ingredients? It is to use the best tool for each job. Use staves and bows to purify the undead, katana blades to dice up water-dwelling monsters. Alright, let's see here. We got an axe. Oh, an axe will be good. Glaive. Wizard's Rod, I'll need one of those. That would be better for her. Would the broadsword be better too, though? Broadsword would be way better. The magic knife. That gives you 41 M attack, and this gives you 42. So we'll get this. Hey, large shield. We got 1 Legion helm. All of them are rank S in that, but you're rank A in that. But this is so much better. Like, you get more physical defense with this, but alright, it's... I can only avoid 3 of them. Alright, so we're gonna give you the Wizard's Rod, a large shield, a mortar board, and an academy gown. There we go. Chill. Time to sell stuff. Nullifies blindness. I gotta get some of these. You like my YouTube channel? Welcome back, Lonk. I try to keep it mostly tidy. At least I keep everything in a easy to find areas and playlists. The fuck was I doing? Oh yeah. Can't go into the inn yet. Why, if it isn't you, are you still kicking about with Jan these days? Nothing is quite the friends you make while at school. You should treasure your relationship with Jan. Yeah. Heave ho! For a one-star sucker like me, I gotta do this kind of part-time work to have any chance of paying my tuition. Studying? Sure, I study sometimes when I don't fall asleep. Awesome, Lunai. I appreciate your interest, I really do. My major is swordsmanship, and even I can admit that Jan's swordsmanship was in a whole different class. Especially the way he could attack and then drop right back into ready position. It was like, Wolffang, Goring Aurochs, Wolffang, Goring Aurochs. By keeping up that defensive pose, he could lay into an enemy while also boosting his own stats non-stop. It sure was a sight to see.
Martha, it's wonderful to see you again. It's me, you, Jenny Olja.
Oh, you. What a pleasant surprise.
This is Martha, the house mother. Martha, these are my friends.
A pleasure to meet you all. What brings you back to El Campus, you?
This gentleman here, he was wounded in battle and...
Oh my heavens! Let's get you into bed. You, be a dear and fetch me a poultice.
Right.
I feel like he was just scratched.
And there. That should do it. Some good bed rest and he'll be back on his feet in no time. Whew! Oh, thank goodness. That's a load off my mind.
Oh, Martha, how can we ever thank you?
Think nothing of it. I'm just as happy to see you again. You'll be staying for a while, yes?
Well, how could I forget? You haven't seen a flying castle in these parts, have you, Martha?
Why, I most certainly did. It caused quite the stir here in town.
What, do you remember which way it went?
Oh, I'm afraid not. It vanished from sight so quickly.
Let's ask around. There must be someone in town who can tell us something.
Yeah. Why Miro and Sasori? Well, Funny story. No, actually it's not that funny. Sasori is because I like Naruto and I'm a loser. I'm a weeb. And when Shippuden came out, what a shameful defeat. Ah, and on that note, did any of you happen to see a figure in green? If you do encounter him, I ask you to inform me. I owe that man my thanks. Anyway. Sasori. Hey, do you guys know the tale? Satana did take up the blade, and still the people were so afraid. No friends had poor Satana made. Why, Satana, why? Dub Sangland had to sigh. Then he gave the reason why. Hone the skills the gods you gave. Master Shield and Master Blade. Perhaps that's how true friends are made. Yeah, so Cure, Curaga. Those are the 3 levels of cure spells. Oops, nope, I forgot Curada. So Sasori was a change from Sasori from Naruto. He came into the show and I really liked him, and I called myself Sasuke for a while because I like Sasuke as well.
Dormitory, you?
For 4 whole years. Now campus is like a second home to me. The land of learning has a different sort of atmosphere, but it's a great place to live.
Marvelou. If I only could have met you in your student days, Hugh.
Well, I haven't really changed all that much. Land of learning. Huh. I guess there must be a big school around here, right? There sure is. Or rather, I should say that the city itself makes up one giant school. Anything and everything about life in our campus revolves around study and students. For example... Well, let's see. Almost the entire population of the city is made up of students, faculty, administrators, and school employees. And look at the buildings around you. Bookstores, stationery stores, cafeterias, all catering to students. Wow. So it's not a school built to serve the city, but a city built to serve the school. Exactly, sir. I couldn't have put it better myself.
You? You? What did you study while you were here?
No, just the usual liberal arts. You know, biology, physiology, psychology, theology, immunology, polemology. What else was there? Oh, right. Historical phantasmology, military musicology, alchemic cytology, political monology.
That's a lot of ology.
Holy moly. It's a wonder you can fit all that in your head. I just enjoyed studying, I guess.
Tu plaisantes. You say you liked studying? For the first time, I feel like I don't understand you at all. Go figure. And here I had you pegged for one of us.
What do you mean? What am I then? Why aren't you answering?
You're a spoiled egghead.
What's that look for? Come on, give me a break. Anyway, we came here to ask about the Skyhold, right? So, let's get asking.
Satanta is, Kyulane's other name? Really? Wouldn't be the first time they've done stuff like that. Okay, so... Can I stay at the end? No, I still can't stay at the end. Still not available. Anyway, so Sasori was basically a name that, came from the fact that I didn't want to be known as Sasuke anymore because on a game I played there was somebody else with that name and it was confusing because I had numbers he didn't... No, he was Sasuke 69 and I was Sasuke 690, so it was confusing. So I changed my character name to Sasori and went by that for the longest time. And then in WoW, Miro came from a rogue I made. I was just a name I thought of and came up with, and since then it's just been my other ego. If I make a male character, that character is usually named Sasori. If I'm playing a female character, that character is usually named Miro. If I can. Interesting. I didn't know that. I should look up more on Kyulane and that.
Look who's back.
The sheer nerve! A 3-star ninny like yourself dares disobey a direct order from your superior?
But...
Is that Rifa?
a friend?
Rifa wasn't an underclassman when I was here. Hey, you!
The Bismol family owns half the land in our campus, you know. The school's endowment depends on Daddy's contributions. And still, you have the gall to refuse me?
I just think you should do your own assignments. Besides, I have my own research to attend to.
Are you talking back to me, you 3-star scrub? I'll have you expelled!
Leave me alone!
It is now storming here.
Rifa!
Not only a simpleton, but a coward as well. I'll just have to find someone else. A 1 or 2-star who knows her place.
Grr. They ought to pop him one in that mealy kisser!
Wait, Idia!
So, who gave that puffed-up poobah 5 stars anyway?
Originally, stars were awarded purely for academic achievements. These days, though, there are many factors. Lineage, for example.
Lineage?
Yeah, wealthy families make generous donations to the school. In return, the children of those families receive extra stars.
So, it's a token of gratitude?
Something like that. The point is, a student's ranking doesn't necessarily have to do with their scholastic aptitude. Some students use their stars as an excuse to bully those they see as beneath them.
Sounds like a silly system to me.
Perhaps it is. I should go check on Rifa. I'll bet she's gone back to the Spire, just like old times.
You happy I changed my name? Well, I was young and I thought it sounded okay, but as I got older, you know, I'm glad I got a name that doesn't have numbers. Nobody ever really uses Miro or Sasore. Very rarely do I ever have to not get those names. Everyone was in quite a panic when the Skyhold appeared before us, but now it's become old news. As they say, once on shore, we pray no more. Humans are fantastically quick to forget danger, aren't they? We are researching somnial energy. It will provide all the world with energy, without needing to depend on the environment or the crystals. Alright, so this has Cure Arrow, Fire Blizzard, Open Eyes, Holy Night. Oh, I want that a lot. So I'm going to have to raise all this money tonight and buy all these items. No worries, I can do that. Cats sure have it nice. They don't have to write any reports. They sure don't get held back. Maybe next year I can transfer to cat school. Yes, because that's a place. The end of the world approaches. No matter how you examine the data, there is no other conclusion to be drawn. Here in our campus, we have been studying ways to avoid this fate. We approached it from all angles using every ideology and field available to us, and yet still... If there is some god responsible for our existence, then what is responsible for that god's existence? And if we are not aware of our gods, and they are also equally unaware of the existence that is above them? Conversely, if you define a god as a higher presence, you cannot detect using any scientific methods, then you make it impossible to prove. Studying metaphysics will not put food on the table, that's for sure. Spend less time thinking about gods and a bit more thinking about jobs. Yeah, job security.
I don't care if he has 5 stars or 500. Why can't that oaf just leave me alone? He couldn't be more different from the 5-star gentleman I used to know.
Rifa!
You? Oh, you! I'm so happy to see you!
Whoa! Rifa! Rifa, settle down.
Arrête! Just a minute. What do you think you're doing to you? My most sincere apologies. I couldn't help myself. just when I was thinking of you, here he is. And thinking of you? What do you mean, thinking? Pudgius was bullying me, like he always does. And before I knew it, my mind was drifting to happier days with you. Happier days? With you? Man alive, Magnolia, calm down! You was always so kind to us. He was a 5-star, but he never judged others by the number of stars on their caps. If only more 5-stars could be like him, instead of that insufferable Pudgius.
Wow, you were a 5-star student too, you?
Oh, a 5-star knight in shining armor.
That's not funny. Rifa, I couldn't help but hear you mention your research. What are you studying these days?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Lately, I can't get enough of ballology.
Ball? The study of balls? Huh? Like the round, bouncy ones? Or
Like, you know. Allow the 3-star ballologist Rifa to explain. Oh, and feel free to take notes. Balls are monstrous supernatural entities, lords of monsters, so to speak, possessed of unspeakable power. Or so the legends say. No one had ever actually seen a ball, so they were thought to be mere fantasy. Until just over 1 year ago. A massive living organism came hurtling down from the heavens, crashing here on Luxemdark and causing great destruction across the land. From its resemblance to the monsters of legend, people came to call it a ball. Ever since, scholars in El Campus have been working tirelessly to learn more about this fearsome entity.
whoa, how frightening.
So what did this ball do after it came crashing down here? As far as we can tell, it hasn't moved a muscle since. Scholars believe that it must be sleeping. Doesn't sound like a problem to me. What's there to study? You suggest that we simply sit by and do nothing? Preposterous! The balls of legend are horrific creatures possessed of unspeakable power. If such a creature were to waken, the entire world would be in danger.
Well then, it sounds to me like somebody should take care of this thing while it's still sleeping. Do you know where we can find this ball?
Through my research, I've been able to pinpoint the precise location of impact. But it's a very dangerous place, you see. Far too dangerous for a student like myself to investigate alone.
I see. It's a bit of a detour, but why don't we go investigate this ball together? If what Rifa says is true, the threat is too great to ignore.
Truly? I would be happy to take you there. You do not mind if I go with you, yes? It would mean so much for my research. So very, very much.
All right, if you insist, lead the way.
So, Rifa, you have all kinds of stories about you student days, huh? Most certainly. You and Jan were always the talk of the school. They were frighteningly popular. He was? I mean, they were? Tell me more. Jan had a wild air about him, and he was such a swordsman. The girls in the upperclassmen were really especially fond of him. When he graduated early and left us, you could hear all the cries of despair echoing across our campus. Then he went off to drive a King of Bend instead of Ansheim. There are quite a few cries of despair there, too. Enough about what's his name. Tell us more about you. Of course. Look in her eyes. It's as frightening as a ball. Well, let's see now. You was... Come on now, Rifa. Some things are better left unsaid. Don't worry, Magnolia. I'll handle this one. You get the dirt. Hey, Adia, let me go. Ow, my cheek doesn't stretch that far. Merci, Adia. Now that we've taken care of that little obstacle, why don't you spill all the juicy details to Big Sis here? Yes, with pleasure. Just don't kill me. Well, Yu was a star student and was always very kind to others. He was quite popular here, though I hear he had problems dealing with older women. He what? Especially the sexy types. He was hopeless around them. The sexy ones? But he was always helping us underclassmen, discussing books with us in the library, or helping with our assignments. We all thought he was just the best. Is something the matter? Nothing. Nothing at all. Ow! Adia, give it a break already! Huh? What's wrong, Magnolia? It's nothing. Nothing at all. Alright. So, the reason I ask is because if you're familiar with dimensional planes, mathematically speaking, you know, two planes are two-dimensional. A two-dimensional object will have two dimensions, length and width, right? And it's confined to those spaces, length and width. It can't get past those. It can't go beyond those. That's it. That's its whole existence. But if you take something and add height to it, or depth, if you want to think of it that way, that gives it a third dimension. And you place it on top of that two-dimensional object, you'll see that because of its height, it can see the entire existence of that two-dimensional object. Its length, its width, but it itself cannot see past its own dimensions, length, width, and height. That's its own whole being. However, you add in the fourth dimension, time, such as what we live in. You can pick up an entire three-dimensional object and see its length, width, height, so on and so forth. But you can't see past your own time. You can't see past your own dimensions. So, God, if you think of it that way, would have to be something that exists in a fifth dimension. Or higher. Something that can see beyond our time. It can look at our timeline and be like, okay, this is this, and this is this. This is the beginning and the end. It can see our length, width, height, and time. Fair enough. That's it for this recording, though.